guys, this is Walt from Midwest Gaming over here at TGG Gaming for their trophy tournament. We have Brian Kalina, the captain himself. Brian, what'd you do today? Oh.
I got second place.
Awesome.
I lost in the finals to VW, so my trophy's a bit smaller, but that's okay.
All right, and what'd you play?
We played a bad deck.
God bless. Let's do it.
I don't own good cards, so I played a 3-ray and 2 rose. I still think this is correct. Some people say 1 roses, some people say 3 roses. I think they're both wrong. Yep. 3 nib, 3 bell, 3 veiler, 3 ash. I don't own Forbidden Droplet. I think these are the first 3 out for Forbidden Droplet. Bell was actually okay today. Like, it came in handy a lot. I did draw it off Desires game 3 against VW, and if it had been a droplet there, it would have been cool. But like, there are other situations where if Bell was droplet, I would have been in a worse spot. So I don't know. I can't really complain about how this card was today. I am blinding second too, if that's not obvious by all of these cards. But that was the monster lineup. In addition to those 12 hand traps, I played 3 Imperm, and those were my only traps. So yeah, we did 15 hand traps: Bell, Veiler, Ash, Imperm, Nib. Nibiru's insane. It's so good.
Did it perform pretty well for you today?
Yeah. There's just so many decks that it's good against right now. It's hard for Drytron to play through it. It's hard to. It's not impossible, but it's hard. It's hard for VW to play through it. Again, not impossible, but like it just like depends on how they start. Especially game 1, people don't respect it.
Yep.
And they just push a lot, and then I nib them and I summon Rain and I win the game.
Fair enough.
1 of Sky Spells, Engage, Drones, Multi-Roll. Waiting for the day this is back at 3. So good. Then I'm playing 3 Widow. That's the only one I'm playing 3 of. I was playing 3 Shark for a while, but I cut it down to 2. Now that Tri-Brigade's not really like as good, I might put a 3rd back in. It's just not very good against them. But like against like Drytron, and it's not great against VW either. Mid game it's okay, late game it's okay, and like if their hand is awkward, it can like get you there, but it's just not a card I would like love to see all the time against VW. 2 burners, 2 Eagle boosters, and 2 Area 0.
So the 2 Eagle boosters is fairly newer, right?
Yeah, for when Engage first came back, it was 1 Eagle for a long time, and then when people were it was 1 Eagle, 1 burners, and when people started playing Desires, they started putting 2 of each in. There's just not a lot of lists right now to look at from topping events, so like it's hard to figure out what like a good Sky standard is. I've just played this for the longest time, so it's worked for me, so I've kept it. But this is a pretty common side out, 1/1 and side out of Desires. I do that a lot, but game 1s, I like having 3 Called by the Graves. And other spells were 3 Desires, 1 Called by, 1 Rhoda, 1 Upstart. I don't play Prosperity, and Joe will yell at me for this, but I think it's bad. I don't know. You play 11 striker monsters in the extra deck, and like banishing 3 of them, like I don't know. I go into 3 Kagari all the time, so of course I'm not going to banish Kagari. Some people don't even play 3 Hayate. I think they're crazy. But like I'm not going to banish a Kaina, and I'm not going to banish a Zeke because those are the 1-ofs. So there's 2 cards that you're not banishing off Prosperity. Sometimes I'll send a Shiz off of a Maximus, Shiz ending Girsu. So like sometimes like as long as your first Shiz doesn't get negated, yeah, you can live with 2 Shiz. But if your first Shiz gets ashed, it's really like hard to keep momentum going if you don't have 2 more in there. So like I don't know, if you Prosperity 1, you make your second, and then it gets hit. Your 3rd is just like, you better pray that your 3rd goes through and you can actually get to your stuff, or like your Hayates and Kagaris resolve. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily always go into all of them, but I do it enough where if I was banishing them off Prosperity, I feel like I would just lose games simply because I'm like banishing resources. And Sky Striker, your extra deck is your resources, and getting rid of them hurts. So I don't play Prosperity, and I think it's wrong. Once Fusion Destiny and like Phoenix Enforcer are played, I think that will change, because then you can't play Desires. Because if you banish either, you're not playing more than one of Dasher or Celestial, and if you banish them, then you just have a lot of dead cards in your deck and extra deck. But for now, I just think Desires over Prosperity is definitely correct. And Joe will cut me for that, but that's okay. So that's 40 card main deck. Extra deck is, like I said, 3 Kagari, 3 Hayate, 3 Shiz, Zeke kinda. So 11 striker cards. I think you need all of them. In a grind game, you have to be able to play. And then Halixaline, sticky access code. You just steal games. You poke them with Hayate twice, and if you have a tuner or a shark cannon for one of their tuners, you win. And I like winning, so I play these cards in my extra deck. And then Ningirsu. People play Phoenix, which is fine, but I don't know. Dragoon is like harder to out than Imperial Order. I think like if you lose the game to Imperial Order, you lose the game to Imperial Order. It's a one of, fine. They're better than you. But like I don't know, Dragoon is actually outable, and they can access it every time they play. They don't have to draw it. So I just like playing Ouch to Dragoon. So what you do is you summon. If you can bait the Dragoon before you summon your Ray, great. If you can't, you just summon Ray, link into Hayate. Choo! Hayate, crash over the Verte. Hayate send Rose, and then Verte dies, and then Rose triggers to summon to negate the Dragoon. So if you've baited Dragoon already, then it resolves. If you haven't, then they are either bad and don't negate it because they don't know what it does, or they're not bad and they negate it. And then you Shark Cannon their Verte, summon it, make Ningirsu, and you go out to Dragoon. Congratulations. You're better than them. So that's why I play Ningirsu over Phoenix. As long as Dragoon is a popular card, Sky Striker has trouble outing non-targetable cards. So I think Ningirsu is definitely more necessary than Phoenix is. Side deck, 2 Cycle Reader. I wanted 3, but I only played 2, and there's only like 1 Drytron player in top 8, so that was fine. 3 Kaiju because, I don't know, maybe I should stop playing Kaijus, because Dragoon is like super outable, I guess, sometimes, but like for Drytron, over their ultimateness, it just lets you play the game. And then, I don't know. I don't think I Kaiju'd anything important today. So I think I can take this out once Dragoon becomes less popular when Phoenix Enforcer comes out, but I had it in there. It was fine. 7 back row removal.
Have a lot of back row removal.
Yeah, I just lose the Solemn Strike, because if they strike your Link Summon, it's really hard to play. When you only have 1 engage and 1 drones, like you have to like make sure your Link Summons go through. If they're hitting the effects, that's fine because you keep a monster on board. But if they're striking the summon and then you can't trigger Ray, like it's hard. So we play back row removal to hit the strikes. 6 chainable for IO, and 1 blowout. Yeah, I don't hate it. There's not anything else that I wanted. I didn't feel like I needed more hand traps going second. Meisters would be the next hand trap I put in, but I didn't miss them. And then 3 Judgment for going first. It's really hard to tell when people are going to make me go first. So, I don't know. Sometimes I don't love that this card is in my side deck, but like, if I like get a vibe from them that they're going to make me go first, and like I can like talk them into it, then I'll put it in. But yeah, that's my deck. It hasn't changed in the last like 2 months. It is what it is. Shout outs to Midwest Gaming. Shout outs to TGG, the Guyanese Gamer Gaming, for hosting the trophy tournament. Shout out to Walter for not lending me any cards today.
You're welcome.
And shout out to Izzy, the best cat in the world, and Montana, the best wife in the world. And other sponsors: Rising Star Metamats, DB Grinder,
YGO Daily.
YGO Daily. Can't remember.
Awesome. Thank you.